Hey guys, Mr. Tully is here again. One of the most neglected parts of a firearm, I think, of an automatic, semi-automatic firearm, are the magazines. I took apart a 1911 magazine that a guy was having a problem with at the range one day, and it was your standard Act Mag type of thing, 8-round. And I asked him if he'd ever cleaned the magazine, and he said no. So I told him, you know, they're really easy, this is how you do it. So I'm going to bring the camera in a little closer. I've got your standard cheap plastic AR-15 mag. I have a magazine, 16-round magazine out of my Sigma. An 8-round Act Mag, pretty common. These are all pretty common designs, pretty common type of mag. Most of these double stack 9mm mags are pretty much the same. And then your Colt style 1911 mag. There's my dryer, my clothes is dry. And they're all pretty typical. You know, there's a gazillion of these things on the market. And I'm going to bring the camera in here. I'm going to quick go through one at a time how to disassemble them. Cleaning is easy. Disassembly and reassembly is the hard part. So we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we're back. I'm going to start with people would consider the hardest one. The standard Colt 1911 magazine does not come apart, so you think. The base plate is welded on, so you can't take the base plate off like with most magazines. You have to do it all from right here. The way that I do it is I grab a punch, and the witness holes along the side here, I grab a second punch, make sure that it'll fit through those witness holes. You need to push it down. Now you want, let's see here, you got to push the follower down in there, and you got to stick your punch in here. I should have grabbed a nickel mag, huh? And then stick that one all the way through, and you can take that out. And you'll notice, if you wrap it a couple of times, the follower should come out. And that's what the follower looks like. This part goes to the back of the magazine. This part to the front. It's pretty obvious it won't go in the other way. A lot of these in the top, on the spring there, it has a hole. So I'm going to grab, well, I didn't need that punch, another punch that will fit into that hole. I'm just going to push it down so I can take my other punch out and gently take the spring up. There's your magazine disassembled. You can see all the way to the bottom. And what you need to do is, I usually will soak them down a bit, and this one does need to be cleaned with just some regular gun oil, and I'll go in there with a brush, a long Q-tip, one of those long Q-tips or something, clean it all out, soak it down again, and take it out to an air compressor and blow it out, or you know that the computer canned air things, they work too. To put it back together, make sure you have your spring the right way. This hole faces the front of the magazine. This part goes in first. Now you don't have to do it this way. And we're just going to push that down again far enough to stick our punch through. And you need it to be down there a ways because the follower has to get in there first. And we'll just take the follower and sneak it right back in, just like we did when we took it out. And sometimes you look in there, that spring has to get behind the tab of the follower, and it didn't in this case, which is, you know, it's fairly normal that it doesn't. So what I do, first make sure you're going in at an angle so that hopefully you can squeak behind it. But sometimes if it doesn't, just go in there with a screwdriver and try to pull it forward, and then holding a finger over the whole thing, figure out, oh, still didn't get back there. Oops. I'll go find that. Alright, not everybody's perfect, right? At least all me. So, let's push that down again. Alright, so we're back in there. There we go. Then that went right behind there. And now I'll just pull my spring out. And there we are. We're working fine again. After we've cleaned it, we got a clean magazine. That's your typical Colt style 1911 magazine. Here's another 1911 magazine. All full of fingerprinties. It is an Act Mag, another one that's really common, but these come apart so easy, it's a shame not to clean these. They're on the base, there's a divot, a little dot, and that, you can just push in on that, slide the base plate forward, keep your thumb over everything, okay, so it doesn't go flying apart on you like the other one did. You can slide the base plate off, gently let up, note how everything goes together. That's the divot that we pushed on, so we know that has to go out. It's flat on the back, it's rounded on the front, just like the magazine. You slide this out, note the position of the spring, how this is towards the front, because your follower sits in there to slant. Give it a wrap, pops right out. So when this spring is in there, it sits right in there like that. These are so simple to do. It's a shame that people don't do it more often. Put it back together. Just reverse the whole process. Hold it down in there. You'll have to give a little extra push to get past that divot. Once you're past it, just pop it in. When you hear it click, you're in. Working again. And you're going to see a theme here. Here's that double stack magazine. Again, it's got, this one just has a square piece. Push it down, slide it forward, keeping your thumb over it. Again, that base piece is shaped like the magazine. See, it's hard to get it in there wrong. In this case, the follower is attached to the spring, so you can't take that apart. I'll take a rag and wipe down the spring. I'll take a rag and wipe down the follower. When I'm all done, I like to leave just a little bit of oil in there, just a light oil, light gun oil. Ah, look at that, it comes off. If that does happen, you can kind of tell because there's a hole in the follower. All right. Right there, and there's a skinny part to the spring. See how your coils are narrower up here? That goes through, and this goes through there too, through that hole, and it'll fit back together just like that. The angled part of the spring always goes to the front, and then it's same thing to put it back together. You just make sure, you know, if you're holding it this way, you can see which way is the front, and you just slide it back in with your square tab facing up. Set it on that base spring. And I just hold it with my thumb. There's little lips here. You can see there's little metal lips that this slides into. And you just push it down until it gets past that square tab. Pop. Tab pops back out here. All done. That's 3 different pistol mags. This is just an inexpensive AR-15 mag. Most of the time I find these base plates are kind of sticky, so I'll give it a wrap on both edges just to kind of loosen it, make sure it's going to come apart. But it's the same thing. There's the round button here. Push in on the round button, slide it forward until you're past the button, keeping your thumb over it, and just pull it off, pull the base plate off. It's that simple. There's your the inner part. There's actually keeps the spring in place better. This too, the follower is attached to the spring. Wipe the spring down, wipe the inside of the magazine down. Can only go back together one way because the follower, you can see how the follower is like that there, and you can see how it matches up here. It's got the thing in the middle there that rides down the middle of this. In the back, it's not. So it's just, you know, magazines are so easy to clean. This is all exactly the same as the pistol mags, or the 2 of them. And there you go, you're back together and ready to rock and roll. I hope that helps somebody out. Like I said, take them apart once in a while. Wipe them down on the inside as well as the outside. Some people use like a baby bottle brush and wrap a patch around it, or wrap a piece of cloth around it to go inside and wipe them all out. That works too. I have a regular, like a toothbrush that I use in the bigger ones, and I wrap a cleaning patch around it. So, just a quick video on some magazine maintenance. I hope that's helpful. Yeah. Y'all stay safe. God bless. And catch you next time around.